Hi everyone, welcome back. Pull up a cup of tea or other beverage of your choice and a project. Let's stitch together. Okay, so I'm still working on the like Christmas ornament decoration things, and I've put a few pieces together to get started with. And so this is going to be the snowman. I feel like this side, this is that 100% felt wool. 100. Good morning, Martha. 100% wool felt I bought at Michael's, and the two sides are a little tiny bit different in texture. I don't know if that shows or not, but I'm going to use this side, even though it curls up a teeny bit. And my circle is not very round. I'll be the first to admit, even though I drew a circle on here and then cut it out, it's still quite wonky doodle. So, but welcome to my world. I'll probably have to use a lint roller. I think I'm going to put it up there. And I'm just using a cotton sewing thread to put this little face on. I just want little tiny, mostly invisible stitches to hold it on. I think you could stitch a snowman head, but it would take a ton of thread, in my opinion. And I mean, obviously you can make it much smaller than this circle and make a much smaller ornament. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, but I am finding, and I will show you, oh, that's not very invisible. I will show you an example in a moment of what's happening when I use very long stitches, which of course I expected to happen, but I will show you anyway. The longer stitches once I remove the fabric from the hoop. So yeah, there's that happening. You don't have to use a hoop to make these work, of course. You could just do this on fabric and just hold the fabric. Nothing wrong with that either. I find the hoop makes it a little less floppy for me. I'm not making these very invisible at this point, which I'm trying to hurry because I'm on camera and it's boring for you. But hopefully you're just working on a project of your own. And I really haven't done any stitching most of this week. I seriously have just been, I don't know, not creative. I've been tired. I've been taking a couple of naps during the day. Not a couple naps every day. This week I took a couple of naps during the day. Couple days I took a nap. I don't know. Oh my goodness. And we've been doing quite a bit of going out and running errands and doing some things out of the house. And I think, although I really enjoy going out every day, it's tiring for me. Has been for many, many years. So it's nothing new. Not anything new. Boy, poor English language, Martha. It is nothing new. It is not anything new for me. But yeah, some days I just feel like blah. Now, part of that is the time change we went through. Part of it is the fact that it's fall and it gets dark really early. I don't like that part. And I wish we could not have to change the clocks. They've talked about it for 2 years now in the government, but nobody wants to pass the bill to not change the clocks. I don't know. It's really bizarre. So, I mean, I understand why it was done in the first place. I'm no idiot when it comes to that. Oops. I want that a little smaller. But, yeah, it's still not always the funnest thing to go through. I hope this finds you all doing well. I hope you've all had a good week. I hope you've all been creative. Today is Sunday as I'm filming this, and I'll probably post it today as well, since I haven't posted a video in like a week or so-ish. Let's see. I think I'm back to the beginning. The good thing about invisible stitches is they're invisible. You can barely see them on the front, especially when they sink into that nice wool. That is a nice thick wool. I'm telling you, if you're looking for 100% wool sheets, like not the polyester fake recycled plastic stuff that other stores, craft stores, sell here in America, go to Michael's. However, my Michael's was out of just about every color there was. So there is also that too. I'm going to be using, I did not center that at all. I'm going to be using a lint roller, but I put it in the van, so I'm going to have Tony bring it back in. Now, I have thought of different ways of doing his carrot nose. I thought maybe I would do that with a little piece of felt and then stitch over it with orange, because I mean, I want it to be as 3D as the head is. However, if I put it on this felt and then on that felt, I mean on the fabric, it's going to have like this weird dip in it. Well, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. Now, if I can find my little pieces of felt. I have these little pieces that this is not real felt. This is cheapo polyester, whatever. Not the best. Look at that. I could use that little piece right there. I think I'll trim this up, maybe, if my scissors will cut it correctly. Now, Tony is out doing yard work. I have not had breakfast yet, so my stomach might start growling. I might have to stop this video because of noise. I don't know. So it may be a wonky video. Now you could use, I also thought about using a piece of batting. I have lots of small pieces of batting. You know, you don't always, that's not long enough, Martha. Oh, golly gee whizzikers. Okay. Helps if you make it long enough. It's supposed to stick. That's too long. Okay. Oops. All right, now I'm just going to stitch over that with orange, so it looks like a carrot. All right, find orange. I know I don't have any orange in that color. I didn't prepare for this at all ahead of time, in case you couldn't tell that, but isn't that part of the fun of finding the stuff on camera? I wonder if this would work. Does it have too much, is it like purple? Is that going to come across as purple or brown? Uh-oh. I just moved the whole thing. Yeah. I think I'm going to have to go for a solid and not a variegated. Where'd I put the cover? It's clear plastic. I couldn't find it. Don't laugh at me. Orange. Okay. So we're going to go with a carrot orange. Sure, why not? I've got a little, that's a little more subtle. I think we'll go with that. Yeah, so my stomach will probably growl. Please excuse it. I've had my tea, but that's it. And it's decaf tea, so. Oh, I want a longer needle than that. So please excuse it and ignore it if I'm a little not awake. I had one of those nights where I took an hour and a half nap yesterday, so that did not help matters any. And then I went to bed on time last night. And then I woke up and was wide awake at 3 o'clock. Yep, wide awake. Stayed awake. No. Was it 3 o'clock or 1 o'clock? Anyway, I was awake for 3 hours at some point during the night. And then I went back to sleep, which is my nemesis. Now I'm following this picture here. So I'm thinking, should I put the eyes in first? Should I work on the nose first? I gotta get this totally centered. I think I'm going to trim this down just the teeniest of bits and try not to mess it up when I trim it. Yeah, so Tony might go onto the deck and make noise. And if he does, then I will shut this down. And, you know, it's fall. It's autumn here in Virginia, in the USA. And we have a ton of trees, so we have a ton of leaves. And there is a ton of work to be done. Oh, there goes my stomach. I'm going to have to shut this down. Go eat. It was too early to eat. I've been eating too early and not doing my fasting. This is not. I don't know if you can see what I did, but I did not stitch through the felt, so now the felt is trying to wiggle its way out of the stitches. Oh, Martha. Do as I say, don't do as I do. Put your first stitch through the felt, Martha. Too late for that. So we will. There. Stay there. Pull. 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 Thank you. Now I'm going to go back down. It's bad. Oh my goodness gracious. Yes, so the fall cleanup, the autumn cleanup, leaf cleanup is a ongoing process until the snow falls, because the oak trees really don't drop most of their leaves until sometimes during the spring. When the new buds come out is when they actually drop the very last of their leaves that hang on for the winter. Ooh-wee. This guy is going all wonky, but that's okay. Snowmen are not perfectly round. They're not perfectly, carrots are not perfectly shaped. So it's all right. Oh my gosh, my stomach. Yeah. It's been bad because I've been eating warm comfort meals, hot comfort meals. I can't eat real hot food, but, you know, I'll warm it up, let it cool off, and then eat it as soon as I can without upsetting my stomach. But I have been eating more than I should. Let's just put it that way. I'm struggling. I go up 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds. I go down 1.5 pounds. I go up 1.5 pounds. Then I get mad at myself, go down 2 pounds. Then I go up 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds. It's very bad. But isn't that what winter is about? Not that it's officially winter yet, but it sure feels like it some days. Oh, and this past week, that's the other thing. Holy cow. Our temperatures, seriously, it does me no good with that thread behind there. Come out, wherever you are. There. Our weather this week has been absolutely crazy. It got really, really hot a couple of days. I mean, it was 80 degrees a couple of days. What the heck? And then the next day it would drop and only be a high of 50. That's like 30-degree difference for highs during the day. So we worried about our horse because that kind of weather can make them very sick. But we went out to see Blue, who is our horse, and he was doing well. I don't know if I told you all, we had to have blood tests done on him. I think I mentioned that, but I didn't mention the results maybe, and his results came back fine. The vet wants to induce. He was tested for insulin resistance and a disease called Cushing's. And he doesn't have either. He does have one sign of insulin resistance on the back of their neck. They get a big fat pad that runs down the length of their neck from their, almost the back of their head to the length to their shoulder blades. And that's a crest. They call it a crest. And it's a fat pad, and they call it, you know, that's one of the signs of insulin resistance. But he came back okay on that respect. And the whole time we were there, when he was getting the blood tests, the vet told us that this is the best time of year to test them because their insulin is more on a flat line, a steady line, and it doesn't go up and down during the day as it does in the spring. So when the results came back, this makes me crazy, when the results came back, in the notes, she put that in the spring, she wants to induce an insulin resistance response kind of thing and test him again. And I'm like, well, if he came back fine, why do you want to do that? And the problem is the medicine for Cushing's is just a pill. You just give him a pill, and it's inexpensive, fairly inexpensive compared to the price of, I want to fill this little white spot in here. So I'm going backwards there. As compared to the powder, which is more of a pain in the butt to give them. For the insulin resistance. And the insulin resistance powder is expensive, like $100 and something a month. And it's like, we really don't want to have to give that to him. So I don't know that we'll have him retested in the spring. Maybe we'll have him tested again next fall. Maybe this winter will end up being cold enough that he will work to keep his body warm, and that'll help get rid of some of his body fat and chubbiness. But he's always been like a really easy keeper. And that just means you really don't have to feed him much. He stays fat just off of grass and whatever hay he gets. And he doesn't really sit at the hay pile for long periods of time because some of the other horses bully him off. So it's not like he spends all that much time. Now see, there is a ridge there because that's where it drops. I might go back and thicken that up with some thread. I don't know. That's what I was afraid of. I have to start making this narrower. I don't know if you can hear the mower outside. I apologize. But really, I wanted to get at least this video done this morning. And then I'll probably do a second video this afternoon because I'm way behind on videos. Not that anybody misses me, and I'm not doing anything that special. But I'm having fun with these little ornaments. And like I said, when I'm done here with this one, I will show you what I've done with the ones I previously made. Now, I did make a couple off of camera because I wanted to experiment with them. I had not done that style before. Oh, that's not good. The edge of my nail caught one or two threads and pulled the whole set of threads out of whack. So I'm just going to pull the needle down here. Oh, look at that. I have a nest. Darn it. I hate when that happens. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I have a rough edge on this nail. I should file down or clip off or something, I guess. In between videos. Oh, that's going way wonky. The tip of his little carrot is going to be very unsteady. Now, for the eyes, I was thinking of stitching them, but I was also thinking buttons would be cute. However, I want his eyes to look like they're looking up. Or her eyes. Could be a her. Mrs. Snow Person. Miss Snow Person. Just want little tiny stitch there. There. All right. We're going to work our way back down, sort of, kind of. Maybe what I should have done was just used felt on this part and stitched on this part so that it didn't look wonky. But you know, from a distance it won't look bad. I'll try and stitch that down while I'm at it. Catch that on the back maybe. And I'm going to go here. Put a couple of layers of stitches on, not pull them too tight. Just to kind of build it up so it doesn't look like it's dropping off onto that fabric from the padded felt. Ooh, that got wide. That's probably not the best place for it to get big there. Oh, Martha. Well, perfection is not my forte. So, I'm happy with that. I still didn't catch all of this in the back. Yeah, so this week we went out a few times. Yesterday we went out because Tony is a veteran, spent 21 and a half years in the Army. And there were some Veterans Day sales going on, of course, but we went to Hallmark so that we could buy ornaments and cards for upcoming birthdays and Christmas. And then, all right, I need black. There's my black. Now, hold on a second. Maybe, I think I will use, I have size 12 and size 8. I think I'll use the 8 for the eyes. I could look for 2 little round buttons, but I want his eyes to be oval like this. So that's what I'm shooting for. Now, yeah, I think that'll do. Hopefully. Should I have used a 6-strand black? Maybe. I can always go over whatever I do. Should I draw the eyes on first? Of course I should. Because freeforming it usually means very wonky for me. Why won't this thread go in here? This eye is plenty big enough. Okay. All right. But my drawing isn't that great either. But I think I can get the drawing closer than if I just freeform the stitching. So, let's see if I can get my black pen to work on this felt. Probably not. All right, so I need the eyes to be, no. It's not really doing anything. This black pen does not work well at all, and my blue pen, I don't know what I did with it. It's probably in a project bag somewhere. The red pen works pretty well, but I wanted black since I'm stitching in black. But that's okay. I'll use the hair dryer trick that I was told about by a couple of my subscribers. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for the hint and tricks and tips. There. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is do this to begin with. There. Now I have a line to work around, and I think I'll do one more long one, and then I'm going to try and start making the stitches into an oval. So I'm going to make each line consecutively go at an angle. The entrance and exit lines go at an angle. Like I said, I can always go back and fix it up a little better when I'm done. The other thing I learned from making the couple that I did off camera and finishing them off, this is a little wonky. So I'm going to fill that in there. Is that I'm wasting a lot of fabric. If I want to take this out of the hoop, I'm wasting like everything from this hoop ring out. So what I did on this one was I'm doing 2 here, and then I probably could use the fabric down here for other stuff. And I did another one, black one like that. So if one of my hints to you is don't cut your fabric just to fit the little hoop if you're not keeping it in the hoop. You may want to use a larger piece of fabric, and then you can cut your piece down from that piece of fabric and use that longer piece of fabric to do several ornaments on. So that is my suggestion to you if you are going to attempt this. I mean, you'll figure out what works for you, of course. All right, so this is a little bit too drastic, so I'm going to fill that in a little bit there and there. And a little bit on the edge over here. Yeah, before the time change, I could fast pretty easily and go a good 14 hours before eating. Like, I didn't get right up and eat breakfast. I generally don't like to do that. Usually I end up more hungry during the day. And this past week, I have been struggling with that. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now, I'm going to tie this off instead of going straight across, which I could do, but I'm going to, because of the bulk behind here already, especially where I messed up with that thread, leaving a big knot behind there, big wad of thread. I'm going to tie that off and re-knot it and start the other eye and hope it comes out somewhat even. Oops. If I can get it in the right place. I think that looks about, I'm going to move it down just a nudge. Yes, so I've woken up very hungry earlier than I usually am, and struggling with that 1 pound, 1 to 2 pounds that I keep gaining and losing, gaining and losing, gaining and losing, plus being tired this week and taking more naps during the week. 2 naps. I took 2 naps. That's not a lot. In 7 days? Well, longer than that, because I don't know if I took a nap last week at all. So anyway, well, last week. Technically, I'm talking about last week because, you know, this is Sunday, so it's the beginning of a new week, right? So technically the week before last. But anyhows, yesterday, I started talking about yesterday. Yesterday we went to Hallmark and bought the ornaments. The Hallmark store was giving 25% off to veterans. However, it doesn't include keepsake ornaments, and of course, that's what I had to get 2 of. And then, like I said, we did get cards. And we had some other coupons. I don't know if she applied them or not. She scanned them and took them. I guess they applied to the cards, maybe. I don't know. On top of the 25% off. So, yeah. But anyhow, what did we do the day before that? Friday? Friday we went out and oh, I don't like that one. That does not go in the right place. Friday we went out. I had coupons for Kohl's. So Tony bought another pair of jeans because Tony keeps losing weight very easily now that he's eating plant-based as well. Well, he eats eggs. And he wanted to go to Red Lobster for lunch, so he got shrimp. And, yeah. So we went out to eat on Friday, did some shopping, had to pick up a couple of groceries. We're always picking up groceries. Anytime we go into Fredericksburg, we usually pick up groceries because I need one more little one right on the end. Because, you know, when you eat plants, they go bad easily. Not that we let food go bad very often in this house. Or we forget stuff. Like the other day, well, earlier in the week, I knew we needed avocados. Did I get them when we were at the store? Nope. And we eat one avocado between us every day. And sometimes for lunch or dinner, if I have it for lunch, I eat my half that I share with Tony. If I eat it for dinner, I have to cut another avocado if I want avocado toast. And sometimes that's all dinner is for me. Well, they're not perfect. This one's fatter and not as ovalized. Is that a word? Ovalized? Get it? Ovalized? Ha! Eyes? No. I have a weird sense of humor, don't I? Okay. I like that better. I just have to fill in make it a little more oval and not so sharp a line there. Ugh, now I'm messing it up. Okay. I'm just going to stick this right in there. Okay. All right. I will tie that off. Oh, Tony's back in the house. Oh, he's going out on the deck to use the leaf blower. Nope, he's not. What is he doing? He's doing something. I can hear him. Trying to get this done before he goes out on the deck, but I don't know if it's going to happen. All right, smile. We're going to do the smile. I'm going to start the smile there, but I want to put the curves are so hard for me. Sewing a curve like in a letter or around a shape. They come out pointed. Come on. And go up here. No, that's not a curve, is it? All right, don't like that. Come on. Okay. Let's try this again. Smaller stitch. And go back. Ooh. It's not good either. Come on, Marth. You can do better than that. Oh my. Sorry about that, guys. I am trying my darndest to do a good job here. All right, so I want it to go like that. So I'm going to, sometimes that's how I have to do it, is I have to lay my thread out and then kind of figure out the stitches from there. Still not very good. One more. Okay. I might go back and wrap these stitches. To make them look better, give them a little more curve. Oops. See, I feel like that's not going down enough. It's going across, and I don't want it to go across yet. Boy, it's a good thing I don't claim to be an expert at this, huh? I did not try this one ahead of time. Maybe I should have. You think, Martha? You think? And I can't even remember what we did the rest of the week. We went out a bunch. Oh, we went on Thursday to see Blue. So we did that. And Wednesday, I think we didn't go anywhere Wednesday. So Wednesday may have been the only day during the week we stayed home. Oh, that's not going to work. I can see right now that angle's wrong. This is where drawing a line would probably work best, but as none of my pens really work on this felt, that is sort of an issue for me. All right, Martha, look at what you've already done. All right, so you want it to come this way. Needs to curve up a little. Not that much all at once. That's better. All right. And the Screen Actors Guild, they've come off a strike. They ended the strike finally. So new shows will be getting made. But I think, as I've said in previous videos, the effects of that will probably be more noticeable next year than this year. Okay. And I can't remember if I told you all that I watched a documentary on the blue zones of people living longer and what they eat and where they live and how they live and stuff like that. So that was interesting. All right. Well, it's sort of close. Now, I'm not going to do the stick arms here. I'm just not going to do that. But I'm going to put some stars up here. And we are at 45 minutes. So I will do those And then at the end of the video, I'm going to show you what the ornaments look like that I put together already, finished off, so to speak. So I will try and be quick about this. I have new silver threads. I have, this silver thread, which is just a sewing thread, metallic Coats & Clark. I finally found it in silver, and I have this. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be, if I use that, that's going to be very thick. If I use that, that's going to be really thin. So, what am I going to use for the stars? I wish I'd bought the thinner one of these. I think I'm going to give this a shot because, number one, it'll be faster for all of you suffering through this with me. This thread is the hardest thing ever to thread a needle with. Ever. And this needle may be really too thick. I don't know. It's also extremely hard to knot on the end. I've tried the quilter's knot kind, and it is extremely difficult. Okay. Little snowflakes or stars or whatever you want to call them. Now, I stink at these too because I can never get the distance right. Like this one's going to look really wonky. Yep. See, that's too long. That's what I get for rushing. Oh, Martha. See what happens to the end of the thread? It totally frays and makes it near impossible to rethread. So not a fan of this DMC. No, this isn't DMC. This is stuff I bought in Maine. It is, oh, crud. Sue Spargo sells it. Take your time, Martha. I don't like this. I don't think it's going to work the way I want it to. And you know what? If it doesn't, you have to be okay with tearing it out and figuring out what does work for you. So we'll see. I mean, I guess that's okay. For me, this is like drawing, you know. It takes a lot of concentration to get it in the right spot, get the distance between the stitches the correct, you know, how the length of them, get them to line up. See? Get them centered, which I did not there. No, this is not working for me at all. All right, well, you're going to see what happens when I start over again. I just don't like this thread very much. I have to say, Christine does a phenomenal job with that type of thread. Me, not so much. So we're going to go with, ow. Let me get the thread out of here. All different needle. That needle's probably way too thick for this thread. I do have to say this thread can be challenging to knot as well. Even though it's thinner. Well, I think because it's thinner. All right, now let's see if I can get these holes sort of closed back up again, because that big needle left a lot of big holes. So let's see. If I have to turn the camera off and finish this, I will. Wow. Ouch. There we go. I like that better. Although that one's really big. I'm going to use a smaller needle too, since I unthreaded that so conveniently for myself. If I can get it threaded. Nope. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, I've got quite a few little, sorry, I was trying to find the needle. It's in the fabric. Quite a few little silver stars done. And then I had a thought. So I will be making another one of these snowmen because, well, I'll probably be making several more. Because first of all, I love snowmen. I think they're my favorite winter theme. And I think I have some improvements to make on what I did. But I was also thinking I have some white fluorescent beads. I could use those for stars. I have these little beads here that I am not sure if there's any stars in or not, but still could use those. Now I don't have, I'd like to find some sequins like these, but in the, like in a fluorescent white. I don't know if they'll have those or not. Yeah, I don't know what I did with my newest beads. Here, these. Not fluorescent, opalescent. That's the word I was looking for, opalescent. So I will probably do a snowman, at least one, using those. One of my tips for metallic thread is don't use very long, how the heck did I do that? Don't use very long strands of it because it does wear easily. Oh, no. It does wear easily on the fabric. The fabric wears it down, I guess. Oh, well, I'm going to have to figure this out. So use shorter strands. Even this strand is probably too long. Wow. Let's see if I can at least make a knot out of this and knot this thread off. Come on, Martha. You can do this. But yeah, I will be doing more of these little snowmen. I really love them. And I want to show you as soon as I can get a knot in here that I feel like this is secured. Okay. And I'm going to bring it over here. Can't go through the fabric because it'll show. Also, working on black fabric, quite tricky. Like I can barely see the needle coming up through the black fabric. So, all right. Now, could I put the little arms on? Yes. I don't know what color I would use to do that, so I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. But there's the little snowman. I'm very happy with him. considering what I went through to get there. All right, so this is what I did. This was the first set of trees I did. I'm going to bring you down a little bit. There you go. This is the first, I think this was the first tree. That was my second tree, and I really like it. Then I tried other variations that I'd seen online, like on Instagram Reels and stuff. And this is just straight lines going back and forth. That's very dense in there. So, yeah. And then I used the beads, and what I did was I learned that once you take this off the hoop, these strands become very loose. In the hoop, they were very tight. So as I put the beads on, I sort of put them through some of the strands of, I put the thread I was sewing it on, which I used for the gold beads. I used this gold metallic thread, which is another new one for me. Or I may have used the copper. It may have been before I used the copper because it was before I had bought the gold and silver thread at Joann's the other day. That was another trip we took during the week. I bought those two at Joann's, the Coates and Clark metallic threads. And this one I had bought a long time ago, years ago, so I think I used that one, but it doesn't show. I mean, it's very close to gold. But yeah, so I just backed that with felt, and I used some of this thread to make the hanger. And then I did it. I actually did this tree first. I think I did that tree second or third. This is one of those wonky trees, but you know, it's cute in my opinion. And I just backed that with felt. So I did this tree first, did not draw it out. This one I drew lines for. This one I drew lines for. These lines, these threads intersect across each other, but they're long, so they have nothing holding them down. I should have gone back in hindsight and stitched those down. These I stitched down with the copper thread holding the beads. I did that so these don't flop around as much. These I used silver beads on, and sort of because the stitches were way narrow, I didn't have the same problem as I have with this one. So were I to do another one like this, which I may, I think it's pretty, I would probably go back with a very fine thread and stitch those down. But that is the looseness came with this once I took it off the hoop, and with this and with this. So that stitch is very tricky once you take them out of the hoop. So I just wanted to show you those and see where we're going with this. And there is the snowman, and I will probably take him out of the hoop and either back him with felt or back him with another snowman. I don't know. It is tricky because when you do something outside of the shape, like this one, I just did the shape. This one, I wouldn't have been able to cut out the shape very well. It would have been really huge at the bottom. Just, you got to decide what you're going to do with it. I don't know that I put fluff in this, you know, this stuff, polyester fill. I don't know if I do another one like that. I really like the ones with the felt on the back, or if I were to back it with another, with nothing in between, or maybe a piece of felt in between. So there you go. That's our little snowman. And thanks for joining me. And if you decide to do this, let me know. Have fun. Happy crafting. See you next time. Bye.